Hey everybody, Invisiblekatana here with an update for the channel, as well as mostly a recap for the horrible December that I've had, which is why I actually titled it that. Also, wearing this vest because I went to the, and you can see there, I went to the Back to the Future musical like a couple months ago. Didn't do a video on it or even really talk about it, so I was like, hey, I bought the vest, might as well show it off. It'll also be in one review, and that'll be for Star Wars Visions. If you've seen it and you also like Back to the Future, you probably understand why I would be wearing a Back to the Future vest in that. If not, I promise I will be explaining it. And also, there will be another upload today that will clearly explain that as well. So that'll probably be like the end title card of this video, and you will understand why I'm going to be wearing this specific vest. But to recap, the horrible December that I've had, going from the most recent thing all the way back. I had the flu for 4 days. I mentioned this in my commentary video, if you guys saw that, or not a commentary video, but on the community tab. I don't know why I said commentary, but on the community tab, I mentioned like, hey, I've been out for 4 days. I'm gonna try to, get back to content and everything. So for anyone that didn't see that, I was down for 4 days. So if you're watching like my Game Awards video, you will see, actually, if you go to that video, I put an edit in there when I was sick. I was like, hey, I got the flu. So, I'm not, my plan was to upload part 2 like the very next day, and that did not end up happening. So I was out with the flu. Before that, I got the flu from someone else in my family, which is my youngest daughter. So she ended up having the flu. Before that, her mom was sick, not the flu, but she was in and out of the hospital. So that started Thanksgiving week, specifically like during Thanksgiving. So that was like Thanksgiving weekend going into the next week. So it was just in and out of the hospital, switching our schedules around for getting the girls to school, all that stuff. It was just crazy. And then it was, daughter being sick and me being sick. So it was like a lot of days off of work, a lot of, getting kids to grandparents to be like, hey, can you watch them? Can this happen? It was an insane December, and it was just tiring. And so any free time was just like, hey, in general, when you're tired just from work, you're just like, I kind of don't want to do that thing. So that can be an easy way to not do videos, but I'm telling you, when it's that, you don't want to do anything. So that is why my Star Wars Visions review has not been uploaded, because I definitely watched things like over a month ago. I saw that like over a month ago, so I'm probably gonna need a little refresher, at least on titles and stuff, so I can kind of remember some of the smaller things that happened during that season. But that was a big part of why that didn't happen. That's actually like the main reason this video is just now happening, because I planned on doing this as like the December video, honestly, like to be like, hey, here's where we're headed, because I actually had ideas and specifically plans for exactly what was going to happen. Is like at the very least like the final video of the year, which, excuse me, it's now going to be this video and like the little, the silly video that I already have recorded. So that's kind of how things are. Excuse me. But horrible December. It wasn't all bad, of course. It was just the absolute chaos of, just family and sickness and all that crap. The one really cool thing that ended up happening was I actually won a giveaway, which I could not believe because I never do. I think I won, from what I can remember, I won like 3 giveaways in my whole life. The very first one was a Naruto headband from Cartoon Network, where it was the, where they do like the old commercial thing, like, hey, here's the code word, of the episode or whatever. And if you put that in online, you might win something. And it was for a Naruto headband. Sadly, that was when I was in 9th grade. So that was when I had my first laptop. I didn't need to check my email like that. And I didn't check my email till literally the day after the deadline, where it's like, hey, respond by this date and we'll get all your info. It was like the day after. And so I didn't get my headband. But of course, being the nerd that I am, as you can see all around me, I got a headband. I got 2 headbands, in fact. So I got Leaf Village and I got the Sand Village headband. The second giveaway that I ever won was from Venomates. I won like these little vinyl Back to the Future figures. Those are super cool. The Marty that I have does not have colored eyes. His eyes are like silver, so he kind of looks dead. I actually really like that, because it means I have not only a earlier version, because I got like a little mishap, but I also got it for free. So it's one of those super nerdy things where it's like I got it for free, and also it's like a misprint from from the factory. It's one of those weird things where, like, being a nerd, I'm like, I love that I have that mistake. And this is the third thing that I have ever won. These headphones, the Astro A50Xs by Logitech. I think Logitech bought Astro or something like that. Either way, Logitech. They got the G on the side, is Logitech. So I won these from a giveaway on Twitter, which was crazy. After the 4 days of the flu, went to work, got on my laptop, I was checking some stuff, and I saw the thing on Twitter. I had, the notifications. I was like, holy crap, I want some headphones. And then I looked up the headphones, because of course, just to be like, hey, what are the headphones like? And then I look up the price. These things are $400. mostly because of this. It's all because of this. It's this base right here. That's why it costs $400. The company that gave them to, actually, you know what? Just to give them a shout out, I might as well, even though it won't make much of a difference. Let me see, what was this company? Because they deserve, might as well. More Fun Studios. It's the company that did something or other. Let me read this little header that they got. A subsidiary of Tencent Games. Okay. Developed Arena Breakout PC, Play Ace Force 2, and The Hidden Ones. I have never played any of those games, but I've heard of Arena Breakout. But I like them now. So, they gave me this. Huge shout out to More Fun Studios. I like you guys because you gave me this. I may not play your games, but I might in the future because I got these, and then I can hear things really good on this. So I do love these, and this is like the crazy good thing that happened after the absolute insanity of December. So, aside from Christmas, December kind of ended on a pretty good note, unless something absolutely insane happens today and tomorrow and New Year's Eve. It ended okay. Still a horrible start to the month. It was a horrible month, just up and down, in and out, and then actually getting sick myself for 4 straight days. Horrible. But this is a really crazy thing to come out of it at the end and just be like, holy crap, I got some effing headphones, and I really needed them because my last headphones broke. Went full old classic, horrible. Just you can hear the crinkle. You probably can't hear the crinkle because I got the background thing on, blocking out the background noise, but horrible. Look at that. And that happened like a week before I signed up for the giveaway. They dropped, and so the plastic that actually holds the headphones in chipped, like it broke off. So the whole headband piece like came out, and then one side was fully loose, and it was just like, oh crap, I messed up. Like just too much, like you're whipping my head around too fast, and the headphones like flip off and break. And every time it happened, I'd be like, oh crap, they fell from a very, I'm 5'11". Sometimes I'd put my head down, they just fall straight off, and I'm like, oh no, that's an unfortunately high height. And that was the last time. Every time I would be scared, and that was the time where I was like, the plastic actually like hit and just broke clean off, and I was like, oh no, I don't have money for this. And then I won the giveaway, which is great. So happy to have the headphones. They're very cool. I think, here, right here. They look nice. They're cool, and they're jet black. So, there's that. But definitely love these. These are definitely cool. If there's any generic first world problem thing I can complain about, because why not be an a-hole who won $400 headphones, but still manages to bitch about it. They don't have an aux cable or port, I should say, a 9mm port. So I'm a sucker for that, where I'm like, I like to have, just if I have a phone, I want it to have an aux cable or an aux port. If I have headphones, especially because they're literally headphones, I would like to have an aux port. So that's like the one thing that I don't like. The other thing, and I would say this is definitely the issue that I have, if I had to like really nitpick about, the headphones for real, why I wouldn't have personally, for one, they're $400. I wouldn't have bought them, personally speaking. But the other thing is that you have to use the base. Like the thing that makes it cost all that money is the base, because it's actually like a little switcher where if you see down here, it says Xbox, PlayStation 5, and then PC, or it technically just says PS, but PS5. So the thing with that is it's a literal switcher. Like on the headphones, you just hit the button and you can plug it up to all 3 things at one time. And so it's like, all right, well, I switched from my PC to my PlayStation, just hit the button and it just flips on the little, on the dock, and it'll go from PC to PS. And it's like, boom, now you're listening to your PlayStation, hit it again, now you're on an Xbox. The thing is, you literally have to have your consoles plugged up. It's like having a recording device where you have to have the extra cable, HDMI cable, plugged into the device and then out to the TV. So that's what it's like. And it's like, I wish I had a dongle like my other, older headphones. That way it's more portable. Like I'm not taking these, they're not leaving the house. Like it's that type of thing. Unless I take the entire base and then I have to connect it to whatever I'm trying to use. Plus it literally needs to be plugged into an outlet. It's not like it turns on and it has its own thing. It has to be plugged in to an actual outlet to turn on. So if anything happens to the base, the headphones are like dead, unless I'm wrong, unless there's something else. But like, even if you use Bluetooth, it goes through the actual base. So I'll probably look into that just in case I'm wrong. I hope I am. But as far as I'm aware, that's exactly how they work. They definitely don't have a dongle, unless somehow that was like completely missing from all the videos that I watched and the instructions. So there's no actual, extra dongle. It's literally, it's almost like being, in a sense, it's kind of like being wired. Like you have to have that dock literally connected to everything in order to use the headphones. That's the only thing where I'm like, you know, it almost makes it a fear, because I'm like, well, what happens if anything random happens to that dock? I got nothing. You know, that's just how it is. Whereas like, and same thing happens, you know, if you have a dongle. Although I guess you could technically buy a replacement dongle if you're using specific headphones. I guess I could probably buy a replacement dock, now that I think about it. See how much that costs by itself though. But for now, I won this, and that's great. It was free, and that's all I need. So that's good. They'll stay here. They'll be nice and safe and comfy. They feel great too. I do like that. They feel great. So not to end on a complete downer, the month ended okay. And going into 2026, with this being the recap of December and then technically also the update for the future, live streams are going to be rare. I think once a month I'm going to do like an actual live stream game. February is going to be Resident Evil. I can tell you that. Whenever Control 2 comes out, that's going to be the game for that month. The game before that will probably be Alan Wake 2, since I still haven't done the final draft for that. So once we figure out when Control 2 comes out, I'll probably do like the classic algorithm thing where it's like, hey, this thing's coming out. What if we played the last thing that everyone's going to be talking about? So that's like the one time I'll probably do that, because it's already been so long. I might as well wait till Control 2 is coming out, play through all of Alan Wake, play through all the DLC, and then jump right into Control. That'll just be fun for me to just be like immersed in the Remedyverse anyway. So it just makes more sense to wait to do that. But RE9 guaranteed. That's going to be full live stream, usual stuff. I got to do Deathloop, but that's driving me nuts. Deathloop, Hi-Fi Rush. I'm going to go through those games, going to get full on live streams. Of course, you're on the main channel right now, but if you want to watch my actual live streams, Invisiblekatana, if you aren't able to catch them, or you just don't want to watch them, you just want to see the recordings, they're of course always uploaded here as well, technically in higher quality too. But if you want to join the conversation, you can hit me up during the actual live streams. But those will probably be once a month. I'm trying to figure out the streamline of everything that I want to do, because some of the footage you guys have, I shouldn't say footage, but just the videos in general that you guys have been seeing as of late is kind of a good indication of where we're headed. So you guys have had only one video, unfortunately, which was the TMNT Shredder's Revenge. I did like a full no commentary video. I played through the whole game with one character. And I was going to have another one of those videos. And I explained this if you've watched my Let's Discuss video, which like 6 people have. So this new information for most of you. I played through the Pragmata demo. I played for like a full hour. And unfortunately, because I was using my PlayStation controller, all the audio that I recorded had my audio as I was talking. And it also had my microphone, or it had all the audio from the game, I should say. And it also had my microphone, which unfortunately for Pragmata is a lot of clicking, because you do like the little puzzle stuff as you fight. So the whole video was just like, you just hear all the tapping, and I was like, dang, I cannot do no commentary on this because the audio is like super jacked up. So unfortunately, you've only gotten one of those, but there will be more videos like the TMNT video where there's going to be footage and there's going to be like no gameplay. It's just going to be like, here's just straight commentary, or no commentary. It's just, you know, straight gameplay of whatever I ended up playing, because that'll help me get through like my backlog of games. And it'll be good just to have that footage in general, just to be like, hey, you know, for a different crowd, of course, you know, people that want reactions probably aren't going to watch non-commentary. People that watch, you know, no commentary videos probably won't watch the like full reaction stuff. So 2 different crowds, but it's easy to record all that stuff at the same time. You know, if I'm playing a game that I don't need a reaction, I got the footage. If I'm playing a game on live stream, I can still record the footage itself separately, as long as I have the space. That's another big thing that I'm going to be working on for this week, is making sure I have the space and stuff. So all of that will be happening. I'm still debating if I'm going to start doing, I think I'm only done one, and I called it like a chill stream, which is a live stream without face cam. I'm definitely thinking about doing that for certain games as well. I'm thinking of doing like a definite tier list where it's like, hey, here's full on face cam, all that stuff. Then here's just audio, and then here's just non-commentary. So I think those would be the 3 things. Obviously the non-commentary video won't be live streams. Those will just be videos. But as far as like the 2 levels of live streams, full reaction, face cam, all that, and then just reaction with, you know, just my voice, as kind of the second level for certain other games. So I think that's how I'm gonna do that. Once again, kind of streamline and figure all that stuff out over time. That's how that process will be. But the other footage you guys have been seeing is also where we're headed as far as live wallpapers. There will be more than Ghost Yote, I can promise that. And then just the generic photo mode videos where I just, you know, speed up the footage and then kind of show my pictures at the end. There's some footage of that I have, you know, much older games and stuff like that. And then there's going to be stuff that I still have to work on. A lot newer stuff that I just haven't played, as far as like going back to Alan Wake, things like that. I haven't even played the game, but Marvel's Avengers does have a photo mode, even though it's bare bones. Regardless of how simple or complex it can be, there's going to be games where I need to really get into it, because I still haven't done that yet, where I've just spent like a lot of time just jumping into games in the photo mode and stuff. So you guys will be seeing a lot more of that footage going into next year as well. And then the main thing, and I've mentioned this before, and admittedly, if it wasn't for this month, I legit was planning on having it as like really like the final video of the year. It's going to be the virtual photography topic videos. I've only done 2 of those ever, and the last one was in 2019. So if you want an example of what you're going to see, you can just type in virtual photography. I think I actually called them video game photography, but I'm going to be changing that, because that was in 2019. That was still when it was like you could call it video game photography or virtual photography, but now we're like the whole community is like it's virtual photography at this point. So I think you still have to look up video game photography and you'll find it, but I may have changed the title. But look up one or the other. Heck, I'll probably even put the first one at the end of this as well. But that is kind of that is the main focus going forward, like virtual photography as a whole, but doing the like big topic videos, that's like the main thing. I wanted that to be the end of the year thing, to be like, hey, here's finally like this video, and now we're back into it. But the month was the month. And so at the end of this month, or I shouldn't say this month, but at the end of January, that is when you guys will see that, because I have the script done. I just have to actually record it, and then I have to get all the footage and make sure I have all of that. So that I can definitively say will be the end of the month, because I don't want to promise that like anytime sooner, just because of the fact that I don't know what other footage I need to make sure that, you know, that all goes along the way that it does. So I'm going to be recording that soon, probably at the end of this weekend. And then the rest of it will just be, you know, just going through the process of like making sure I have all the footage and just using my time to edit that as I can in between editing, you know, like just the smaller videos to make sure they're up. So every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, that's still the plan. I can't guarantee like what video you'll see, but you'll see a video. That's the plan. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, just going forward. So kind of how it's been pretty much all year. But I will be taking a break this week in particular. Don't know if I said that at the very beginning of this. This is like the 5th time I've done this to make sure I like keep everything nice and tight. But I'm uploading today, uploading a silly video that I did that involves Star Wars Visions, and then I'll be uploading next Monday. So next Monday will probably be it'll probably be the Star Wars Visions. That's what I'm like. I just said it. Star Wars Visions will be the video next Monday, and then after that, who the F knows? But Star Wars Visions, I can record that as well. That'll be easy to do on top of doing, hopefully, you know, getting the full recording of the virtual photography video. I should be able to do both of those just all in Sunday, so that should be easy enough. But that's kind of where things are right now. So virtual photography is like the main focus as a whole. The topic videos are like the number one thing. Those just kind of take the longest. So that might be like a once a month thing. Also have a top 10 list that I want to do. Still working on that. Turns out when you actually want to make a real list and you really think about it, you change the list like 15 times. Like I've changed that list so much where things have gone from like number 8 to number 4 and number 2 to number 9. Like just, it's been absolutely insane where I'm like, I didn't think it would be this complicated when I was making the list in the first place. So that's been interesting, but that'll be like the next video. It's not a topic video. Well, I guess it's still a topic video, top 10 list, but fully scripted video will take a little bit longer than top 10 videos. And then at the same time, those are also really crazy. It probably just takes more time to finish the list and be like, I'm comfortable with this being my list, versus the script. I can write the script a little bit easier, and then it's the aftermath that takes more time. So the editing on the script videos, and then figuring out the actual list for the unscripted videos where I'm like comfortable and like okay with that. You know, different sides of the coin. But all of that stuff is going to be the main focus. Virtual photography. There'll also be virtual photography live streams. That I'm definitely trying to figure out, because the regular live stream stuff I'm kind of planning on doing, you know, kind of a once a month sort of thing. So once again, that's just another extra layer of content where it's like, all right, maybe I'll wait on that just because I want to build up like the actual videos and then start doing virtual photography live streams after I've kind of built up, kind of getting back into it, where it's like, hey, here's more footage, here's more topic videos, here's doing some top 10s and stuff like that. So I think the virtual photography live streams will kind of come along as more people are like, hey, let's have more of a conversation. Then I can start doing that live. So that'll be a little bit down the line. And of course, once I start doing that, those videos will of course be on the main channel like every other live stream. But plain live streams, chill streams. Like I said, I'll start figuring out my tier list of like what games do I care about having my full-on reaction on, stuff like that. So the tier list will be coming along. Yeah, obviously that'll be a personal thing. I won't be like updating you guys, but excuse me. The old list of games that I originally had, Deathloop, Hi-Fi Rush, Alan Wake 2, full live streams and stuff like that with commentary and face cam, and then everything else I'll just figure out as we go along. But I think that's just about everything. So I just want to give you guys an update on going forward, the crappy stuff that's been kind of happening this entire month, and just, where things are. So of course, we'd love to hear from you guys. I know that every single time I do one of these, normally I do it in the very beginning when I'm like, it's been a minute since we've done an update. I say that every time because it's always been a minute. Don't know the last video I did in front of like just actually being on camera. So it's always funny when it's been a super long time. It takes me forever to do one of these videos when it's an update, because that means it's been a long time. It feels weird to be like, hey, it's been forever, getting back into it. But that's where we are right now. I hope you guys have had some good holidays and everything's been cool. As far as keeping up with me, outside of just me posting videos and stuff, virtual photography wise, if you're checking the community tab, I post pictures. I try to post every day, but that definitely isn't as consistent. I'm normally better doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday for the videos than I am at making sure I do a new picture every single day. But I do try to do that. So I try to do that with the holidays. Of course, I've definitely been behind, but I try to do a picture, like a picture a day, or at least like a set of pictures a day. So you can check either the community tabs if you just want to keep it on YouTube, but I have Instagram. I technically I have Facebook, but I never use that page, if I'm being honest. So don't even worry about that. But I have Instagram, I have Twitter, and I also have Blue Sky. So if you want to just see pictures, well, you see a million things if you go on Twitter. You'll see all my replies and all that. But if you just want to see pictures, you can just hit Instagram or Blue Sky as well. I don't like do anything on Blue Sky or check stuff on there. So I just post, and then that's pretty much it. So if you just want to go like streamline pictures, Instagram and Blue Sky. And of course, I still do my posts. So you'll see all my thumbnails for my videos will also be on Instagram as well. But much easier, streamlined to just be like, here's thumbnails and here's virtual photography. So if you guys want to check that out, I am Invisiblekatana on everything, as it always says. And if you want to get to my live streams, if you actually want to start checking those out live, or if you want to, just catch videos before I do like my uploads to this channel, because sometimes it might take a couple days, just depending on how things are. Because my main thing is like, hey, I did the live stream, so the video's already there. And then I'll focus on like different content to upload here. And then it'll be like, okay, I'll just, throw it up there on a certain day. So if you want to either just be a part of the conversation or you just want to check them out early, Invisiblekatana is the live stream channel. And I think that is just about everything as far as an update on everything that has happened and what I plan on having happen going forward, which I feel like it's a little different compared to the other times where it's always like, hey, I have this plan to do this, this, and this. I've actually been doing some of the other stuff. So it's a little bit different this time around. And it makes it just for me personally. I've definitely noticed a huge difference. For some odd reason, I have something plugged into the computer and it just unplugs and replugs itself in. That's the second time it's done that. But the first time I did it was like an hour and a half ago. So it was just like super random. It just popped up. I don't know if that I don't think it's recording the audio from my actual laptop. So you guys didn't hear it, but it just like popped up and caught me off guard. So I think that's good for the update and recap of the month. So if you guys have anything, definitely let me know. We'd love to hear from you, what you guys would like to see if you're interested. Like everything I laid out, that is what's happening on the channel. So Let's Discuss videos are definitely staying, so you don't have to worry about that if you're interested. So Let's Discuss is staying with footage. For sure, I'm going to make sure that they always have footage from now on. I will also be, and this is another part of this whole video that was supposed to happen at the beginning of this month. I almost forgot about this. I guess it would be like remastering or however you want to do it. The old videos that I don't have footage on, because I was doing the first couple and then things just got really crazy and I couldn't get footage as often. All of the older videos that have just random topics where it's like, hey, favorite memories from this console or that console, I'll be redoing those and actually putting video game footage in them. So that way it's not just the thumbnail for like the whole video. You can actually just watch the video if you want, like you need like a distraction or whatever. So all of those will be getting like pseudo remastered, if you will. So you'll start to see those as well. And those will count. There'll be days where, the old or like the re-upload of that video will be the thing. And since most people didn't watch them anyway, a lot of people, I guess, will consider it new footage, if I'm being totally honest. So just letting you guys know, you will be seeing a lot of those as well. So you'll probably see videos pop up, and then I might reference something that happened as if it just happened, but it'll be like months old, and it's because it's like a remastered video. I don't know if I'll put that in the title because it doesn't, most people didn't watch them, so it won't make a difference to do that. So I think I'm just gonna upload them and just have the same title, and maybe I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll figure something out, because I can't technically have the exact same title, because YouTube would be like, hey, you can't do that, it'll be weird. So I'll figure something out with that. But either way, just wanted to let you guys know about that as well. So you'll be seeing some older videos come back, but with footage as well. Might make you more interested to watch the whole thing. Let's Discuss in general is sticking around, so that's like the main thing. Let's Discuss is staying. Live wallpapers, just generic photo mode videos, sped up footage where I show the pictures at the end, and then the topic videos, and then the live streams are like number 5. Way down. And I've mentioned this before. Every time I mention this, somewhere in some form or fashion in the future, way in the future, I'll get back to doing like my figure stuff, because I have a bunch of figures. I want to do videos on those, but that is not the main focus, and that takes a boatload of time. Just as much as editing, any other footage or anything like that, that takes a ton of time. Plus posing them and making them actually look good and taking pictures for all my figures and stuff. Very different. So way down the line, that'll happen eventually. I just like randomly throwing that in there. It's in my head all the time. I'm like, I wish I could do more with that, but that is like the very last thing. Also, the other thing that you guys will see at some point, I haven't decided when I'm going to do this, but I do want to make like a collection tour sort of thing. I haven't done one of those in, honestly, I don't think I've done one since I was like living with my dad. I don't think I did that even in my last apartment. All right. Yes, I did. I think that was the last time I did it, was my first apartment, which was like 4 or 5 years ago at this point. So I want to do like another nerdy collection tour. So it'll be like these right here, like all my bookshelves, like my 4 little nerdy pillars, because you guys only see this one, but each one has just as much nerdy stuff. So like, you got like Resident Evil and Alan Wake, and actually that's Resident Evil, but Pokemon, all that stuff. I have all of that like just all over the place. I got like behind the camera at the very top, I got like my God of War collector's editions and stuff. Like all my collector's editions are like straight behind the camera. Over there I have like my comics, and I have like a Back to the Future shrine. Over there I got more Alan Wake stuff at the top, and my Ninja Turtle stuff. So like each one has like a bunch of nerdy things on it. So I definitely want to do that, because it would be like, the nerdy room tour sort of deal. So I would definitely like to do that at some point. Once again, don't know when that's going to happen. That's just one of those random things to let you guys know, like, hey, excuse me. Once again, it's on my mind. It's one of those things where it's like, hey, I want to do that, because I haven't done a tour in a super long time of just like all the nerdy stuff that I have. I do have to dust first, so we'll see when that happens, but it's on my mind. It's up there. It's up there. But I think that's good for an update video and recap of everything that has happened, everything that will happen. Not hopefully will happen, will be happening. Don't know the exact timeline or speed at which each individual thing will happen, but all of this stuff is happening. So virtual photography stuff is going to be there, non-commentary videos, live streams. I'm going to start figuring all this stuff out. Of course, it's kind of just as I do it, that's when I'll start to realize, like, all right, what gets dropped or what doesn't show up, at least as often. And I think, in all honesty, it's probably just going to be the live streams that really end up taking it. And it'll probably just be not non-commentary, but like the chill streams that I do, where it's like no face cam. That might be just how I kind of skirt it, where it's like, hey, instead of taking a ton of extra time, and it's really just set up the camera and my lights and all that. It's super easy to just be like, hey, I'm just playing the game, and then I record it and I talk while I do it. It's really simple. And if that's what it takes to make sure I start getting all the content out that I want, that's what's going to happen. Or if I have to just wait until a specific time where I'm like, all right, we drop everything else, and then it's just live streams and stuff for, when Resident Evil comes out, you'll see what it's like. You guys, just like Ghost of Yotei, like everything stopped because I was like, I'm recording Ghost of Yotei, and I'll just upload that as the video, for the week, just to keep things nice and simple. But as we go through, you guys will start to see, as I figure out like either what I like most or what's easiest, but it's still kind of in the realm of the content that I like. So we'll start to see, but those, as of now, we got our 5 things. So let's discuss live wallpapers. I was going to say live streams, but let's discuss live wallpapers, live streams, photo mode, and then our actual topic videos are like the main thing. But once again, those I know will take like the most time. So into January is when that's going to officially start kicking up. And then after that is when it's going to be, we'll kind of just see whether it's once a month for like the big grand video at the end of the month type of thing, or if I can, get them out faster. We shall see, especially for the scripted ones that might really have to be once a month. So we'll see how all that pans out. But got all the ideas lined up, got at least one script lined up, and then one list lined up ready to go to be finalized. So we're gonna start pushing into that. So I hope you guys are looking forward to it. If you guys have any comments, as always, please put them down in the comment section below. And naturally, thanks for watching.